The Bible says you must honour your parents. Many of you are going to turn around and say, that bastard, that bitch. Yeah, because you have been deeply hurt and wounded by your parents, by those around you that should have cared for you and loved you. Even spiritually, there were places where you go, where you've been, and you were hurt and you were wounded spiritually. Yes. And yet the Bible says to honour. The home I grew up in was hell. I grew up in hell, yeah. We used to have this big old deep freeze, one of the earliest deep freezers that ever came out. And it was really solid steel, and there was this big dent in the front of it. My dad, I came in one night and I was so thirsty. We'd been out visiting for hours and got back, and I was so thirsty, and Dad was refusing to let me have a drink. He said I had to go to bed with thirsty because I'd wake up in the night and be crying. And he picked me up and threw me for the hall doorway, and he missed. I would have hit the wall in the hall if it hadn't have been the deep freeze. But I hit the deep freeze. And when I was last over in that house, walked down there, and every time you walk down into the old house, the old washing room outside, there was the deep freeze with a big dent in it. My mother, all of them, every form of abuse you could think of. But I would go over. I would mow my dad's lawns. I would do everything for him that I could. He was deep involved in Masonic Lodge, very deep in witchcraft. And I would just do everything I could for him, always, for both my parents. I did everything I could. I would go over to my mother's and I would plant plants in the garden for her and flowers and do whatever I could for her, always, because I wanted to honour my parents. I was going to forgive them, honour them, and receive the blessing of God. 3 days before my dad passed, I finally went to him in the hospital, and he was semi-coma, and I led him to Jesus, and tears streamed down his cheeks as I ministered to him finally. And I led him to Jesus. I led him to the Lord. I said, Jesus is waiting for you. You can still go to heaven. You did it your way. That was his favourite tune all his life. But I said, he's waiting for you. All you have to do is accept him. Forgiveness is yours. And he did it.